Well, let's get into it. So the comedy series, we're spotlighting different comedians every night. George has been with us since the start in 2018. And he's been through all the shows at the Comedy Store. He's on the song, the music video. Tonight, we're spotlighting him. We're going to talk about his rise in comedy. Give it up for George Wang. Woo!
Yay! Thank you, guys.
Right, I'm going to ask
for having me.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. I'm going to ask you, just different questions, topics. Guest, if you want to type in a questions, just type it in the chat box and we will answer it at the end of the interview. Yeah, and then there's going to be a lightning round of questions too at the end. We have 1 hour, so let's get to it.
Yeah.
George, how did you get started in comedy?
So it's going to be kind of weird. I had one of those midlife crises where I was, like everyone else, I was working a job I didn't want to do. And I just went down this downward spiral. And you know how they say, like, bad things happen in 3? So I lost my job, I lost the girl, and I got into a DUI car accident that almost killed my life. And at that moment, I realized, like, when everything went crumbling down, I had to kind of, I needed to, like, reinvent myself. So I had never really traveled abroad. And my sister told me, like, hey, with the time and money you have, instead of spending it, you should spend it on, like, maybe traveling. And we went and we backpacked from Costa Rica all the way up and down Central America. And those 3 weeks changed my life. Because when I went out there, I have this tattoo to commemorate it. It says Pura Vida. It means pure life. And when I went and saw how people lived in other countries, not like America, we're all just freaking bottled down by bills and stress. Like, there were people in Panama, like, where you lived on a hut on the water. And then if I wanted to go visit Kiki, it's not go in my car. I jump into the water and swim to your pad. And then it was just like, wow, these people are just living. They were just living the life they wanted to live. And so when I came back, all these little things that I had inside of me that I had put aside, like, I grew up skating. I quit that because I thought I was too old to skateboard. I went and did all these things I loved again. And because I started to, finally find myself, I ended up taking community college courses. And I needed extra credit to transfer. And one of the classes they offered, believe it or not, was stand-up comedy. And when I took that class, like, I'm terrible at school. Okay, like, I'm the worst when it comes to, like, that ideal Asian guy who, like, I am the opposite, right? Like, I learned my maths through, like, eighths and grams. Like, I sold drugs and shit. Like, I was not that guy. So when I went to PCC and I took this class, it's like sometimes it's like meeting that girl that you just click with.
Yeah,
you're like, there is something here, because every day you had to go up and do 5 new minutes every week. And then at the end of, I would say 8 weeks, you built 5 solid minutes. And then you had to perform your final set at the Ice House. So on the night that I performed at the Ice House, get this, one of the comedians had dropped out of comedy juice. So the manager was inside the room and saw my set. And he asked my teacher, hey, can that guy fill in the spot for comedy juice? Dude, that was my first time on stage at a professional, like, other than being in that little classroom, I was like, okay, because I just knew my act in my head. So I went and did the act. I didn't think much of it. I got an A in the class. I was super happy. And then next thing you know, I'm getting tagged in this video. And I guess Comedy Time is this huge network, and they had put my bit online. And out the gates, it got like 50,000 hits. And people from my school were passing it around on Facebook. And I was like, what? And everyone thought, like, at the time I was this traveling famous comedian, when I actually just did it for that class. So that was just kind of like a sign for me. So after that, I just kind of went, like, head first. And I was like, okay, I got to figure this out. And then I just did, like, what every other comedian does, is just kind of weasel your way in and figure your way out. Like, no one knows what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
When you start comedy, it's just like connect the dots. So connect the dots, and here we are 10 years later.
So is that the set we just posted today on the Crazy Woke Asians IG page?
The Living with Mom.
Yeah, the one, the hot box. You hot box.
Yeah, so that's a true story. My mom, we shared a duplex, so my mom lived above me. And my mom would always complain. She's like, every night this terrible smell come in the room, smell like skunk. I don't know. And then I was like, oh shit, she smells my weed. So one night, like, I'm smoking weed and I'm like, I can't blow out the room because she's upstairs. So somehow the smoke goes up into her room.
Uh-huh.
So what I did, like an idiot, I blew the smoke out into the vent. But the vent is connected to our central air circulation. So that entire bong rip went into her room.
Oh my.
Like literally like poisonous gas in Batman just filled her room up with smoke. I had no fucking idea. The next morning I take my mom to work because she didn't drive at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, she looked like have you seen The Ring?
Yes.
Remember when the chick comes out of the well, like her hair's in her face, she's tired, groggy. And I'm just like, Mom, what's going on? Last night I can't sleep. I'm very, 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 and I'm like, are you okay? Oh, the skunk smell again, but this time terrible. I can't sleep. My heart beats so fast. Like boom, 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 boom. I pray to Jesus and my eyes so red. Like she's going through all the symptoms of getting high. And I'm sitting in that car, like in my, in your head. And it would be like, dude, I think I hotboxed my mom, right? So I would tell this story to people and they're just like, bro, that's comedy. You gotta do stand-up. You gotta say that on stage. So like all these stories were in me. Mm-hmm. And when I got to that stage, I was like, I just told those stories. I was just real and I just told the truth. And the feedback was dope.
Yeah, that was so funny. I just watched that yesterday again. I was cracking up. I can't believe that was your first time on stage as a comedian.
Well, my first professionally on stage. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
that was.
And you were on Comedy Time. That's amazing.
Well, because I had learned through the class, like you do it for like 8 weeks, but I mean, they prepped me for that stage and then the rest was history.
Yeah, but
so here we are now.
How did you handle the jitters? Like, I want to know, like, I'm sure the audience is interested. How do you handle the jitters before like a big show, like being on Comedy Time? Where
I do what I'm doing now. You see this? I have a few drinks until I feel kind of loose because I feel like you're like a car. Your mind is like a car, right? Like sometimes you need to put a little oil in there to lubricate the engine, and when you're feeling loose. When the jitters, I want the jitters to be there because I want to be able to feel like I care, but I want to be loose.
Yeah.
So like a beer, a shot, and before I thought I was like, oh, this is a crutch, and then I would meet comedians. They're like, yeah, I smoke a bong rip an hour before, like they time it so when they go on stage they peek out. I mean, seriously, everyone has their method.
Yeah, I go take a nap in my car like 15 minutes before sometimes if I have time.
Yeah, you have some sort of thing to calm your shit down.
Yeah.
Because the worst thing you want to go up there is like a nervous wreck and be like shaky. I've had that before. And I don't like it. Like straight stone cold sober is really hard for me. It really is. I mean, I can do it, but I like to have a little bit of alcohol before, like a beer.
Oh, that's crazy. Let's take a shot.
Yeah.
We're drinking kombucha right here, and he's drinking something else. Whiskey, right? Cheers.
All right.
Okay. So I know you were talking about your mom, but let's just get into it because I know your mom is a big influence in your life, and talk about her and when she got sick. Like how did you deal with it and overcome it and used it?
Well, it was
one man show.
So what fucked up was it was happening at the time where really big things started to happen for me. Like I had gotten a national appearance on a TV show as like the first like Chinese American bachelor to win like on a national dating show on Fox. Like I got hired to be a host of a short film series on Mnet, which is like the Korean MTV. So I got a national billboard. Like all the shit that I worked for just so happened at the same time, like all this great shit is happening, and then my mom gets 4th stage cancer. And the only thing cool about all that was my mom got to live her final life seeing that I wasn't just this fucking asshole that was in his room smoking weed. Because the only time she ever ordered cable, you know, Chinese moms, we don't order cable or put on air conditioning. Those are the 2 fucking things that never go on. She got cable just to watch my show and canceled the minute the day it ended, right? But to have that fucking last, like, yo, mom, like, I'm on TV feeling before she passed was, like, the most driving force for me. Because I was like, when my mom got cancer, the world changed. Because I spent every single day with my mom since I was born. I chose not to go to live in college dorms because I felt like shit. Like, I felt like shit because I did not want to leave my mom. There's some kids that can leave home. I was just attached to the nest. I was like, Mom, I'd rather stay home and pay half the rent and be with you than live with a bunch of strangers and end up like a drug alcoholic, you know, like, and I like pride myself on staying with her to the very end. So for her to see all that, it was awesome. But at the same time, it taught me a lot about life, where it's just like, we're not all going to live forever. And that was the saddest thing, is just trying to go through that whole thing. And I remember the weekend my mom died, I had a show that was booked in Colorado. And I had the flight booked and everything. And the night before I was about to leave, my sister had a heart-to-heart with me. And she goes, okay, I'm not telling you to ever, like, not do what you need to do. Because I couldn't believe my mom would die. She said, if you take this flight, and the fact that if your mom does die while you're gone, can you live with that for the rest of your life? I fucking canceled. And seriously, that night, the second day, September 11th, 5:30 a.m., it was during my watch on my mom's time. She died in my arms the day I canceled the show. So it was almost like my mom chose to leave this earth with me. And because of that blessing, I was like, I had to change so many things. Like, one of her dying wishes was, me and my dad never got along. Like, me and my dad were kind of getting along, but it was just not great. And she just wanted me to be really close to my dad. And so in light of what had happened, I made this day up, which was our one-man show. I was like, I'm going to make a holiday called Dadder Day. Every Saturday, I'm going to hang out with my dad and document our day. Because it was his ideas. Like, every Saturday we meet up, we go visit your mom, you know, and he wanted to do these things that, like, they did together to honor her. And he's like, if you can keep showing people and every Saturday we go honor your mom, he's like, it's like she never left. Because you're honoring the spirit so much. She's alive. You're keeping the legend alive. And we got together, and literally it was like a fucking Nickelodeon movie. We went from hating each other to, like, you know, those feel-good movies where they just figure it out. And then we became best friends through this process. And it's been 7 years since she's gone. We never stopped at Dadder Day. It's not as consistent, but it's always there. And I think that it's kind of weird because, like, my mom was like a Chinese Jesus in a way. Like, she needed to make that sacrifice to bring the love back into people. Because prior to her piecing out, the family was fucked, dude. We were like we were just so dysfunctional. Where my sister lived abroad, my dad moved to China, and it was just me and my mom. And it really took that for us to all kind of, like, come back full swing. So, like, anything I do moving forward, comedy-wise, is a part of that is just paying tribute to my fucking family. That's why what I talk about is real. What I say is not going to be some made-up joke. It's going to be something I want people to know that this is my life. Yes. I'm not doing the Asian parent thing. I'm doing my mom and dad thing, because in these tragic times is where the comedy comes.
Yes.
As fuck, dude, like, the best comedy I ever had was during my mom's cancer. Seeing my fucked up dad and my sister trying to pretend to get along. That shit is hilarious. Like, the fights they would get into. And guess what I took to the stage? All of that shit. I was like, thank you for my 5 minutes every night just by watching you two fight. You know?
That's hilarious. So, I want to ask you, where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years?
I see myself seriously where I'm at now, but definitely with a lot more financial freedom. I think ultimately my main purpose is to do everything I'm doing, but I just want to put it on a bigger platform. You know, I eventually want to get my special out there. I gave myself like a year, maybe within the next year. I want to drop my first hour. I put 10 years in. I'm going to shop it out. And I'm very confident that it's going to land somewhere. But seeing my dad kind of struggle with bills, seeing what my mom went through, seeing the sacrifice he made to put me here, I have to, in 10 years, be the one to fucking bring it back.
So what's the dream scenario with where this comedy special land? Do you have a name for it?
Yeah, it's going to be called My Father the Hero or Dadder Day. Maybe Dadder Day. I think it's a lot more... My Father the Hero, I think this is a movie already, but it's going to be Dadder Day.
Yeah, Dadder Day. I like that.
It's going to be my one-man show, but a lot more refined. And thank you, Kiki, because that really gave me the blueprint. But the one-man show I did to you was my rough draft.
At the Crazy Vocation Solo Performance Festival
Right. And so, like, I've taken that same material and grown it for the last year, where right now it's good. It's good enough to go like a solid 45. I'm confident in it. And I want to bring it all back to like, this is for you, Mom. So I don't even want it to just end. Like, I want people to walk out of there like feeling like, damn, that was dope. Like, you know, it's one thing to make people laugh and, you know, kill a room, but it's another thing to make people feel. And I think Billy Crystal said this, when you can make someone laugh and cry at the same time, that's like the most genius comedy. That's honest and like the Richard Pryor shit, right? You could take your fucking pain and turn this into a masterpiece. And I might, sorry.
Make them sleep on it and they wake up and they still digesting it.
And one more title idea was Laugh at My Wang. Like Kevin Hart had Laugh at My Pain. Laugh at My Wang is another one.
I like that too. But what is a great joke to you? How do you write? Do you write everything out or you do bullet points? Like,
my thing is I get the idea and it's almost like, have you ever been driving and you see something funny? I think those are the moments.
And then I take out my phone and I start typing. It's so bad.
It has to come from inspiration. I don't sit there and like force it. It has to like have me jumping where I look like a lunatic because I'm practicing it in the streets, talking to myself, doing my dad. Like it needs to get me up and moving around. And then like the way I write, I can't sit and write. Half of me is up there, like, you know, pretending I'm on stage and then coming back to the pen. And I think it comes a lot from skating and hip hop. Before I did this, I was in a rap and I was in a skateboarding. And when you write rap, you can't just write rap. If you're writing bars, you need to like spit that shit. If it's a sick punchline, you're fucking saying that line like a million times till you get it right. And I've kind of taken like writing bars to writing comedy because I need that rhythm. I need that punch. I'm not a deadpan comic. Like I just realized like doing comedy so long, I've gone in the Hollywood crowd. I've gone to the like, you know, the B crowd. I've gone to the Mexican crowd, the Asian crowd. And at the end of the day, you just need to do you. Like, don't worry what someone else is doing. Like if you go on and murder the room and I'm not going to go on there like I need to show Kiki like I never have that mindset. I need to show myself like I'm going to go out there and be Wang. Like there's one Wang.
I feel like when I say a joke that makes me laugh from the heart, I feel like I'm doing myself a service and then everybody will laugh too. Because it's
real. Yeah. It's unique to you because how many of us can just make some observation about like water bottles, right?
Rap it. Show us your rap skills, guys. He's amazing.
Like, what do you mean? Like rap about the water bottle?
Yeah, because I know you can spit bars just like I don't even know how you do that. It's amazing. Can you just do like for like 10 seconds?
Hold on, let me see.
Oh yeah, come on, let's go.
Hold on. You're lucky I have DJ Premier pulled up, but hold on.
Yay!
Okay, I go. Here I go. What do? I got a flow. I must be drinking this H2O. Niagara. I need some Viagra. I can't sleep. Dude, about to hit you attack, bro. I got Kiki with the balayage. I'm over here, man. I don't drive a Passat. My name is Wang, man. You're laughing at my Wang, man. You heard my jokes, dude. Yo, I'm doing my thing. I drank a little whiskey. I'm feeling kind of tipsy. Good thing I'm alone because I be a little frisky. Okay, here I go. Where to stop? I'm on the block right here, about to hit the spot. Freestyling, y'all. I'm up in my room. You're just seeing this little square up here on Zoom. I just told you my whole damn life story. Now let me go and do something that's not boring. Here I go. Take it back. Let me just take it back on the map. Earlier, this dude was cueing me in. He was like, you need to go to the left, my friend. You need to be in the center, the rhyme inventor. I'm right here, yo, the illest presenter. Woo! I like just making things on the spot because it makes Kiki look like that and she's hot. Oh, man, we feeling real good. Drinking the kombucha, yo, we up in the hood. Yeah. Yes, yo, I am not a bro-ho. I like to skate and film it on my GoPro. I like to do tricks and fill it up in slow-mo. I throw a pitch like my Hideo Nomo. Oh, let me drive up the Momo. Dude, you can't get with this, you bro-ho. Listen, it's like my Sharona. I'm a sick bastard. Show up to your house with Corona. I'll show up to your house at the family barbecue and be like, excuse me, mister, and fucking be like, that too. I don't give a damn. I'm a sick bastard. I'm a master of disguise. I'm at the gym on the butt blaster looking at your thighs. Let me come and hit you with surprise. Samurai. Oh, yo, take it back. It must be really high. I don't know.
That just came straight from your brain.
Yeah.
Out of your mouth. That's like, you should teach me. You should teach a class on how to spit bars. Like
You know why I can't teach that class? Because it's got to be in there, dude. You know where this came from? It came from house parties. And like just, I was that guy. Like if you ever went to a house party and there's a cipher in the kitchen, you better believe I'm one of those guys that like jumps in and starts rapping. But yeah, like I can't really teach freestyling, dude. You just need to practice and do it on your own.
Yeah, just gotta keep practicing and practicing. All right, let's keep going. What was your biggest bomb experience? Like the worst bomb?
Oh, you know this. I don't even gotta tell you. The fucking Azusa Mall shit. So Kiki books me on this mall gig, right? We have to perform for the entire Puente Hills Mall.
Yeah, the
so that
little community.
The mall. This is the fucking mall. People are shopping everywhere.
The Moon Festival, I think.
Do you guys know Chinese people? Have you been to a Chinese wedding? They don't even listen to the best man talk. They talk over them. They eat. They're rude. They don't give a fuck. Chinese people do not care. So I remember going on that stage and there's just crowds of people. I had to follow like 2 4-year-old violinists. Remember, like 2 YouTube stars. One chick's playing like Bach on the cello. The other one's on the piano. I'm not going to follow that with stupid jokes. So I went out there and I remember I filmed it and it was like the best bomb. It was like a bomb. Like I knew I was bombing, but I was having fun. I think you and James were the only ones laughing.
I was laughing so hard. I posted it on the Crazy Vocations. You guys can go check it out.
It was the funniest bomb. And I was like, you know, if I'm going to bomb, I'm going to bomb in style, you know?
Yeah.
I want to be the high school class clown where like everyone thinks I'm annoying, but that girl in the back thinks it's fucking hilarious. There's one girl who thinks it's funny, you know? So that was definitely my favorite and best bomb.
So what advice do you have for a young comedian, like do's and don'ts?
Okay, the do's is don't do bringer shows. Like get away from those as fast as you can. If you have to do a show where you're bringing people and you're paying for a spot, don't do that. I would say, you know, try to like go to even open mics before you do these bringer shows. Cause I don't know. I don't like bringer shows. I just think that, you know, if I'm going to pay 10 people who have never done comedy and then put them on stage and then I invite my entire family to spend like $40, $20 cover admission, 2 drinks, and that's the first time they see comedy, I just feel like you're not really giving people a real experience of comedy. Because what if that's someone's first show? They're like, live comedy sucks.
That's true.
I think you need to get good enough to figure it out before you start hitting these big stages, you know, because like do it for yourself.
Yeah.
Like for me, I don't like sucking at anything. Like I'm not like, if I'm gonna like play baseball or dance, like I'm gonna secretly practice to dance where I feel confident enough a little to even dance. So I feel like with comedy, the dues is definitely just keep doing it. Get on stage no matter what, as much as you can, because it's like any muscle or working out, the more reps you put in, the better you'll get with anything. That's just life in general. Keep doing it. The don'ts is never get too ahead of yourself and always kind of stay grounded. Because don't think you're the, like a lot of people like, you know, they'll do a few good shows or they get these like big heads, and it's like the worst thing you can do in this business is have like an ego. You want to always have like a really low key, cool rep, because it's all relationships at the end of the day in comedy, right? We're just building relationships with bookers. I'm sure you know tons of funny guys, but you won't book him because he's an asshole.
That's for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And the less funny guy who's not as an asshole will easily get the 10 minutes because, hey, guess what? He's going to do his job, and I like him.
Yeah, plus,
so fucking who cares?
They're not going to run time where it's going to cut everybody else's time because they don't care. Exactly.
Work on you, and then also, you know, work on being a professional and work on relationships.
So what's the funnest, well, I don't know if it's fun being heckled, but like a fun moment that when you got heckled, like how did you deal with it?
Okay, the best moment, okay, this is, oh, I'm so glad you asked me. About 6 years ago, my friend booked me to do this spot at a war veteran. Have you guys seen the movie The Mule? It's basically, it's a war post. It's called a VFW. And it's like a social club for Vietnam veterans. So my friend books me on this show, and it's kind of weird because like I go in and they're not laughing at shit. They're just there doing their thing, and the comedians are background noise. And I see every guy go up there and try material and just flop. So I'm like, I don't want to just go up there and do material. I got to fuck with these guys. I need to find a way to so I get on stage, and I remember starting out my set, and then some guy had said something, and then I just ask a question. I go, is anyone who's a veteran here? And then like 5 guys in the back whistle, like, yeah, we're all veterans. I was like, fuck yeah, dude. I was like, actually, my dad was a veteran too. And they're like all quiet. Like, I was like, but he actually fought on the opposing side. And I was like, one of you guys killed my father. And I went into this whole act. I was like, I'm here to avenge his death. I was like, you killed my dad in the Vietnam. And like, it turned into this funny thing because they just start laughing, right? And like, I just had flipped this entire war room because I took it and made it an opposite point of view. But long story short is I filmed the clip. It was about 6 years ago. It was really like shitty quality. And then recently I joined TikTok. Because everyone's like, go on TikTok. And I was like, I don't know how to do all the little stupid dances. And I didn't want to join, right? So finally my friend was like, you know, just do you. Like, don't worry about doing the dance shit. Like, just show your shit. I literally put up that bit at the Veteran War Hall. It went viral on TikTok. It's my most viewed video. It's at 160,000 views. It's been up there for like 4 days. And it just keeps getting, and because of that one video, I'm getting like tons of follows. But it's like, dude, you never know.
Yep.
You know, like I went into this room one night, I decided to freestyle it. And that's the thing about comedy or anything. It's like, bro, you never know. You never fucking know. That's why the more darts you throw, the more hits you take, the higher your fucking statistics go up. You know, the more and more you put out work, the more content you're going to have. And I record every fucking set.
Wow.
So cool. Now, yeah.
How do you stay consistent with like pumping out funny content on your podcast? Hang with.
So I'm going to show you guys right now. Check this out. Can you see that?
Yeah. Oh, damn. That's a chart.
So this is a chart my dad actually was telling me. He's like, your problem is you are all over the place. You need to focus one time, everything one time. So he's like, he told me, he's like, you need to get a journal, write everything that you do. And then, by like every single day, you put a little like everything you do. And then you monitor everything you do by the day. So like all the things you do, and then you kind of watch your patterns. So like my dad's like, even if you make a love to your girlfriend, you put the make a love to your girlfriend. If every day make a love, too much a love to your girlfriend, no comedy, no. So I started to monitor myself, because they say 7 day creates a habit, and then 30 days, like I forgot that whole metaphor, but it's like, it's true.
Yeah.
What you do consistently is what you do, like whatever that Aristotle quote is, repeatedly thing is whatever is not a habit, it's excellence. So I make sure, like my goal here, I skate. Do you see that? I skated every fucking day for 2 weeks. I did my weights in 8 days. I made sure I did comedy. Whether or not it's fucking stand-up or TikTok, I put a comedy video, that counts as comedy. I'm using that muscle. My mind's in the game.
Yeah.
And I see this, and it's like I'm trying to win every day, because in the end, all this work is going to lead to the bigger prize.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I take it one day at a time. I know it's like hella OCD-ish, but guys, if you ever want to follow my format on this, it's a life changer. Like if you're ADD and you do a bunch of shit, man, it helped me like stop biting my nails. Like you write everything right here on this little chart.
I need to do that. I need to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that tonight. I'm going to do it. Yeah. I have notebooks. I'm going to do that.
Yeah, you just spread it out 30 days.
So you were talking about skating, and I know you teach kids skating. You love to teach. Tell me more about, like, how did that start?
So it was kind of weird. I landed my dream job last year. I got hired to be a skateboarding teacher at a high school. Do you know how weird that is? Like the one thing that I would get in trouble for when I grew up in high school was skateboarding. Because the hierarchy when you're in the 90s was like gangsters, taggers, skaters. Those are the three main pieces of shit. And so somehow, like last year, like my friend Martin Rizzo, shout out, love him, he's another comedian. He told me he like got this job at an after school program for LAUSD with this nonprofit that teaches kids how to skate. And then he recommended me, and I got the job. It was crazy. I went from George to being Mr. Wang. All of a sudden, Mr. Wang. Yeah. Oh, can we play Mr. Wang? No, we can't play with Mr. Wang. Like, just call me George. But anyways, like, yeah, I taught for 1 year, and eventually I just got smart enough to be like, hey, I could do this more like one-on-one and make more money, you know? And so what had happened was I started my own private practice on the side. But I wasn't even, the way I got started, I didn't go out and like start something. People asked me. My first client was a 47-year-old Tesla engineer.
Oh, wow.
That was like, do you teach privately? And I go, how do you even know? She's like, I follow your Instagram. I see your work with the students. She told me what she was paying at this like place she was going like 2 hours out for. And I'm like, yo, let's just try something together. I was like, honestly, you're going to be my first client. I've never done this before. But I figure like I learned enough from LAUSD. Like, you know, a lot of people think they can teach skating. No, you can't teach skating. You really have to have structure. Like I had to read about like things that teachers did, create like a cycle plan, so that when I went in and started teaching these kids one-on-one, I had taken everything I learned from the school, which made it more professional when I was working with these clients.
So
and
what's
then,
a typical day, like a lesson with you, like an hour lesson?
It's about an hour lesson. It's like, have you seen Jack Black's School of Rock?
Yeah.
It's that, but skateboarding. The same level of funniness, the same level of, I mean, these are kids.
Yeah.
So of course
how old can you start? My son is 4.
I've started from 2 to 47.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had, my youngest is 2. It's amazing because I've skated for 20 years.
Uh-huh.
So I'm past that point of like that feeling I get. Sometimes it's like comedy. I'm used to it. But when I see these little kids like, you know, roll down the street for the first time or drop off the curb and they get so excited, it rejuvenates that passion where I'm like, fuck, this skating is hard. It's not easy. These kids are like 2 or 3 and they're like rolling down the street. I'm like, and they're so and it's like, it's really in a lot of ways like rejuvenated me as a person. Because I'm getting this fucking great energy from these kids. They're not all dulled down by life yet. You know, they haven't gone through divorces and fucked up breakups. These are kids. They're pure fucking energy. And I get to absorb that. And so that has made me just a fucking better person and probably a better future dad. Like if kids, like I'll be
a great dad. You're gonna be like, skate. I'll have a beer with you. We could just write and play.
It's like that movie Rare Role Models.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, dude. I feel like exactly role models. That's exactly like legit role models. Where I'm just this like big kid that's 40, skating with these 2-year-olds.
Oh, it's so cute.
And I'm like, yeah, it's I love it. I love
so
it.
You guys, if you want to sign up, take a skating lesson with George, you can follow him on at the
follow me at George Wayne Jr.
Yeah, at Wang's World too, right? On Instagram.
Yeah.
How do you maintain your social media? Like keep the audience, build the audience. How do you interact with them?
It's like it's in here. Like I gotta get up and do shit. Like I can't. Like if I'm like, this is how ADD I am or OCD. If I'm not out and like skating or doing something by 8 a.m., I feel like I'm wasting my day. I start getting antsy. While most people are waking up, I've already put 2 videos out on TikTok. I'm at the skate park filming a new skate trick. You know, I'm already writing jokes. Like I need to like utilize this time because I realize like, you know, everyone wants to sit around and wait for an opportunity. I'm like, fuck that. I'm going to create my own. And the more energy I put out, the more work I put in, regardless of who's there, the universe is watching.
Yep.
The universe fucking knows. And I'm telling you right now, like this TikTok shit, I had no idea. I doubted myself. I was like, fuck TikTok. That thing's whack. And then when I started putting comedy videos, guess what? That's what's blowing up on TikTok. My stand-up. It's not my sketches.
Yeah.
It's my fucking stand-up. That's what I want. I've been on Instagram I've been on Instagram, I don't know how goddamn long. I'm already past my followers on Instagram. So a lot of times people don't get discouraged. You know, there are different avenues for everyone. Like sometimes we hit a wall with certain things and we're like, maybe you got 2,000 people on Instagram, but guess what? Crazy Woke as an entity has millions of people.
You said crazy and woke. Time to drink 2 shots.
Yeah, let's 2 shots. Let's do it.
You guys ready?
2 shots. Let's go. Cheers.
One more. We're about to do the lightning round.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you want me to share screen one of the pictures that you want to talk about? Which picture? Let's do one and do the lightning round.
You can show the rip one in Costa Rica
first.
first.
Okay. I got that one. Hold on. This one picture, you ladies, you're going to see some eye candy right now. It's a very fit pic of George.
Yeah, this is what I strategically picked.
You
this
ready?
Because
wow, there's a 6-pack. I think. What? Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
So this is okay. So this was my trip to Costa Rica, but this was the moment that changed my life. This trip changed me and brought me into comedy, but it was also the most fit I've ever been. I was 8% body fat, and you know, this is that picture. We all have that picture where you're like, you show your friends like, yeah, that was me. That was me. Look at me in high school. This is that picture for me. Like literally, like I'm like this is that picture you carry around your wall. Like this is what I used to look like, you know? But but what I loved about this picture is not only like I love that I actually could see abs. Like there's no abs here, but it's fucking cool to know I got the six-pack at least one time. Because, you know, when you're a kid, you just fantasize of being that fucking ripped guy. And, like, I worked so hard to get into this fucking shape. Like, and, like, when I went on that trip, and I don't know, I just felt like this was the picture that really changed my life. Like, this was the day before I went back to California and decided to go for my life.
Oh.
Because of this background, this fucking beautiful nature.
Wow.
I was like, you got to live life like water. There's a Lao Tzu quote I hang over my bathroom. It says, water is the most essential thing to everybody because water stays low to the ground and it benefits everyone. So you be like water.
Be like water, like Bruce Lee says. Be like
exactly.
Water. I'm a water sign. I'm a Scorpio. I'm a water sign. What are you?
I'm
fire?
Oh, no.
Wood?
I'm metal.
Metal. Cool.
My dad went to go see one of those Chinese fortune tellers.
Oh, yeah?
And they said your son, they actually told my dad, like, your son is an entertainer. And my dad was tripping out, but they're saying I lack fire.
Huh.
And so my dad comes in, you need to do more to piss get you mad. You need more women to break your, like he was saying, like, I need more, like injuries and girls to break my heart because, like, it would give me more fire because I'm a metal sign. And you need to heat the metal for me to, like, so he's there saying, like, you need more bad shit to happen to you. And I was like, dude, why are you, like, cursing me right now? Like, I don't want bad shit to happen to me. He's like, this is the only way, Chris, fire. Like, he's so intense.
Okay, are you ready for the lightning round of questions? And then we're going to open it up to the audience. Anybody else that wants to ask you any questions. All right. This means, like, it's like a 1 sentence, 2 sentence max. And it's lightning. You don't think too hard about it. Okay? Ready?
All right, let's go.
Right. If you had $100 million, what would you do with it? Go.
I would freaking buy my dad a mansion, and then I would buy you a mansion. And we would both live in it and do, like, Zoom shows every day. And I would fund all the Zoom shows, and I'd build a skate park in the back and make sure that, definitely.
We'll have a comedy club in the mansion.
But I would find someone to help me invest. Like, I want that money to make more money.
Yeah.
So I would definitely use half of it to spoil all my friends and my family, and the other half to, like, invest and grow more money.
Yeah. Maybe have like a skateboarding foundation for kids.
Yeah, I would do something. Definitely. I would definitely take this and, like, invest in a more of the comedy. Yeah, on a bigger scale.
Okay, next question. I would rather die than.
I would rather die than. Fuck.
Is that your answer?
No, I wouldn't rather die than fuck. That would suck. But what do I hate so much? I'd rather die than just, like, be a piece of shit. You know? Like, I always want to maintain my integrity. Like, my dad once told me, like, my dad's such a nice guy, and he actually, like, my dad was very successful, and the only reason he is not as successful is because he trusted too many people. And I'll never forget what he said. He's like, you know, people are going to rob me, steal me, cheat me. I'd rather have everybody rob me. Me, I never robbed you.
Yes, that was filled with fire.
He's like, this is how intense he is. He's like, I never rob anybody. Even if I die with 1 penny, I go to sleep with my integrity first.
You guys can follow George on his Instagram. His dad brings him all kinds of amazing food.
I'd rather die than to, like, live a fake fucking life. Dude, if you ask me to be, like, rich and fake and, like, you know, like, sell my soul, or, like, poor and happy and skating, I would go poor. I mean,
not poor, but just not, yeah.
I would not sell my soul for, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have morals.
For sure.
I have morals. Yeah.
Misa asked, how did Kiki and George meet? We met.
When I was sick.
Oh yes, when you were sick, because I am a fan of George. Okay, I'll be googling like,
No,
where are the Asian?
no, you're not a fan. You met me because Steve
Yeah, but
introduced
before
us.
that, I already knew about you. I already googled you long time ago. Like along with Esther Koo, you and Esther Koo, I loved. Like she's gonna be on I think Thursday. But
So
I knew about you. I think I saw the Comedy Time before.
I have
And when Steve introduced you to me, I was like, oh my gosh, it's synchronicity. It's so
no, it's
sick.
even more synchronicity. Okay, check this out. So you guys don't even know this. Me and Kiki are in the same Asian we have the same commercial agency.
Yes.
And my agent was like, George, we love you. You're great. You're talented, but you need to be more structured. And they're like, we have this girl named Kiki. And they would kick your name around to me and be like, they would send me your links. They would send me this is fucking 6 months before I met you. They sent me a demo reel of you. And like, do you see what Kiki did with their sketch characters? So you're already in my radar.
That's so weird.
And it's so funny because you guys don't know this. Last year I got sick. And while I was bedridden, I don't know if you know Steve Lee is the handicapped Asian.
Yeah, he's a stable comedian.
He calls me. He's like, hey, you need to call Kiki. You know, Kiki. I was like, oh, Kiki. Yeah, she booked show.
Oh.
She looking for a comedian. I was like, dude, I'm sick. I can't really like do anything. I just messaged her.
Bell palsy, right? Your
yeah.
Your face.
And then I messaged you, and it was like overnight. Me and Kiki were like homies. From the first text, I think we texted for like 4 nights straight. And you have to understand, like, I'm bedridden. I'm not doing anything. So Kiki was like the only person at the time that I was even like reaching out to in the outside world, because I was so depressed. I didn't want to talk to anybody.
Oh yeah.
And like, I'm not.
I had an autoimmune disease when I was like 15. So I was bedridden for like a year. So I know.
And you know how bad that is. Yeah. And, and you know,
it's terrible.
It's when you're down, when people come in when you're down, you remember these people because life's a fucking party. When we all are not on Corona, we're all chill. Yeah, life's a fucking party. How many people have called you to see how you're doing during this whole pandemic? You know, when you're sick, when you're going through real shit.
My 5 fingers, I tell you. My 5 fingers.
Yeah, you will know who your fucking friend is when you get sick. When you get sick or some life-changing shit happens, I'm telling you, that fucking phone call, that like flower thing, that like just message like, how are you, means more than anything in life. And I will never forget that. When you like were there to be my friend during the sickness, and when I was barely coming out of the sickness I had, you were putting me on shows, you're getting me back on my feet. Yes. And I paid it forward. Remember, like I got involved with this Chinese company. They gave me a bunch of money to like make commercials.
A commercial.
And I paid it right back. I'm like, yo, Kiki, that's my girl. I didn't call anybody else. Kiki's my girl. Kiki came on, got paid. That's how it works, you guys. You got to pay it the fuck forward, dude.
I will solve racism by.
We need to get Donald Trump new writers. Who's ever there in his cabinet writing his shit, you gotta stop with the Chinese virus, with the flu shit. I mean, because honestly, right now, that's the biggest reason why we are victims of these hate crimes. Is just fucking words that weren't said properly.
Yeah, and actually that Chinese virus, they actually put the COVID-19 or coronavirus. But
if Trump went on, could you imagine if Trump went on like Obama and was like, guys, the Chinese, they're not the virus. They are our friends. The virus is from Wuhan. But you know what I mean? Just some like cool PSA to give us a little good PR. We have bad representation right now. That's what it is. Our Chinese PR is shitty. Like, who's there? You know what I'm saying? And then he's not helping. Donald Trump is not helping the situation by it's from China. And he's like crossing shit.
Yeah, he crossed it out.
He crossed that.
Like, nope,
and then
nope.
The thing with the reporter, it's from China. Like, she's Chinese. Is that for me, sir? No. Fake news. Like, you know, for ignorant white people, and I deal with a lot, they go that left field so easily. when you're an ignorant person or bigot, I hate Middle Easterns. The other day I watched United 93 on Netflix. Have you guys seen that? It's about the plane that
the 9/11.
I started hating, dude. My best friend's Middle Eastern. I called my friend. I was like, I fucking hate Middle Easterns. Like, it's so easy to, like, get mad over dumb shit and blame a race. And he's like, dude, it's a movie. It's a movie. I was like, no, fuck Tarek. Fuck Middle Easterns. You know what I mean? It's so easy to fall into hate.
Okay, 3 words to describe yourself.
3 words to describe myself: chill, funny, and laid back. No, laid back is chill, funny, and loving.
Okay, sake or soju?
Sake all day.
Worst fear on stage?
Worst fear on stage is my dad comes into the middle of the set where I'm talking about him. You can't do shit.
You love it when the audience...
I love audience applauses. Audience breaks.
Who's your comedy hero?
Louis C.K.
The
Sorry,
best
ladies.
advice your mom gave you?
To be chill. My mom always said slow down.
The most important person in life to me is?
My dad.
Your pet peeve when teaching skating?
When they just give up so easily. And that happened the other day. Yeah.
Oh. Last place I want to be before I die?
With my girlfriend and my dad.
If you couldn't be a stand-up comedian, what profession would you try aside from skating?
I would be a male stripper. I would call myself Magic Rice. That would be my stage. Now, I've already thought this through. I would get back to that guy in the picture, and I want to start my own escort service.
Oh, Magic.
Yeah.
Rice.
Where, like, I show up to your house in a to-go box, like a male escort. I ring the doorbell and I pop out of the door like somebody with a sweet and sour pork.
Dude, that's what you should do for your one-man special. Call it Laugh at Wang, and then pop out of a Magic Rice box.
Yeah, I would love to be like a famous male stripper.
And start rapping, and then go into rapping.
I want to be Magic Mike with the Asian Magic Mike.
Yay!
That's what I would do.
You can subscribe to the Crazy Vocations channel. Give it up.
Yeah. Thank you guys. I love you all.
Crazy.